Today we're doing some tier lists. That's kind of all the intro is. We're just going to be doing some tier lists. So, to start off with, I've gone with Cartoon Network shows. Now, I'll be real. I didn't watch every show, and when I got out the website, there's a lot more than I thought there would be. So I'm going to be more focusing on the popular ones that everyone would know. And what better way to start off with a puppet named Scooby-Doo. Never watched it. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Wait, is it like... Because I remember there was was it Scooby's son or Scooby's brother? I don't know. I actually didn't really watch Scooby-Doo anyways. So, this spin-off... I don't know, is it a thing of like an origin story of Shaggy? I'm gonna look this up. Oh, so they're all just literally kids. Yeah, so they're all just teenagers and Scooby-Doo's a puppet. Fair enough. Never watched it. Which should probably bring me to my next point. Again, like I said, I didn't watch Scooby-Doo. I remember maybe one episode where they're in a racing track or something. Like, that's generally the only episode I remember. I'd seen part of some other episodes, but again, never really watched it. So I'm gonna have to put it there. Like, I genuinely can't remember watching it. From what I did watch, like, as I grew older, it was okay. It never really appealed to me, but I can definitely see why it would appeal to other people. Apple and Onion. That was a weird show. That was a very, very weird show. I didn't really enjoy it. I'm going to put it there. I'm sure, is it Richard Ayoade that voice? To be honest, the way I see it, it's just a fever dream. Like, it's just one of those strange shows. Like, look at the way the characters are looking at me. I feel like it's just one of them strange ones. Baby Looney Tunes. Now, when I was much younger, I did actually enjoy it. But is it as good looking back now as some of the others? Probably not. I must say mediocre. At the time, I definitely enjoyed it, but I think, there are definitely better ones. I don't even remember, was this on Cartoon Network? I definitely remember watching it, but why do I feel like this wasn't on Cartoon Network? Adventure Time. I think everyone knows where this is going. Straight to the top. Arguably the best. I think there are 3 or 4 that are, like, up there with, like, undisputed the best. It's funny, it's enjoyable, the characters are great. The actual storyline was really good as well. I didn't really keep up to date with it in more recent times because I feel like later episodes when Finn had like different swords and all that stuff, but like years went by and then apparently he lost his arm. Do I remember that? I think I remember that, but then I don't remember him having a flower for a hand or an arm. Anyway, it is very much one of the best. Batman the Brave and the Bold. I remember this being on all the time. I didn't really watch it that much. I didn't really enjoy it. Is it better than Apple and Onion? Yeah, I'd probably put it there. I feel like a lot of people aren't going to agree with that. I feel like people are going to say that it is very good, but for me in particular, I barely watched it, but what I did watch was it was alright. Chop Socky Chucks, Now this was when you knew it was getting late in the day. For me anyways, whenever it was on, it was like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. Which is nothing now, but like at the time we were just like, oh my god, this is bad because we're up so late and oh no. Again, one of those shows is just like, from what I can remember looking back, it was again a fever dream. It was pretty good though. Like at the time, you did enjoy it, and I did enjoy it anyways. I'm thinking of all these shows looking back, and that one, it does stand out to me, but it's one of those kind of like forgotten ones where you're not going to remember it like an Adventure Time or Scooby-Doo. Like Scooby-Doo, as much as I said I never watched it, it is still an iconic show and a lot of people did watch it. The Amazing World of Gumball, again, straight on the top. I still get clips on TikTok to this day of The Amazing World of Gumball and it is still so funny. The overall show is so enjoyable, even for someone in their 20s to watch. Like, I still enjoy it. I'm going to say I'm so childish when doing this tier list, but I don't care. Gumball was incredible and I remember so distinctly. There was one episode where he's trying to go Super Saiyan just in the middle of his school. And he's screaming on top of his lungs. And I just remember seeing that for the first time and dying laughing. It was so funny. It's so good. Chowder. Weird. Pretty weird. I'm going to put it above Brave and the Bold though, because actually I'll put it top of mediocre. It was just weird though, was it? Like, I don't know, was it like an amazing show or was it just kind of there? Like, some of the characters were funny now and looking back, was it good or was it bad? It wasn't bad, I'll say that much anyways. Funny though at times, like, what was it? Was it Snitchel? Snitzel. There are other characters that are memorable, but it's just like there are better shows. Clarence, again, not really one that I watched a lot. I think as I was getting older, that's when it started to release. I think I'm trying to remember how old I was when I was watching like Adventure Time and Gumball, and I didn't really fuck with it that much. I think it was a bit odd. Some of the characters were a bit annoying as well. Jeff was annoying to me. It was I think it was better than Chowder. Was it better than Chowder? Well, looking back now, I think it is. I'm gonna put it good for now. I'm not entirely sure though, because I feel like that's gonna move eventually. Codename Kid Next Door. Again, this is one of the ones where like you forget forever, and then the minute it pops back into your head is like, oh my god, I remember that show. But again, I really can't remember watching all that much. I'm gonna say mediocre though, because I genuinely just can't remember watching that much. I thought it was okay. I can't remember for the life of me who was in it. I can't remember the characters. I remember the main guy, the guy with the red hoodie. The main guy anyways. Ben 10, again, straight to the top. This might actually be my favourite because the amount of times I had like the toy Omnitrix on my wrist, the amount of time I spent watching this show was unmatched. Do you know what do I put it? Okay, I'm going to leave the S tier. I'm not going to reorder it because I think they're all just on the same level. For me anyways, in particular, Ben 10 is like beyond top tier. Like it is without question one of my favourite childhood shows. Possibly my favourite. But I think for the sake of the video, I'm going to leave like the S tier as like the undisputed GOAT, like I said before. Except this trash. Craig of the Creek. I actually really like the animation style, but it just wasn't memorable. Again, it was one of those shows similar to Clarence where it kind of came out as I was growing out of those types of cartoons. I'm going to put it there for now because again, it wasn't my time. Oh my god, what is that show? The Cramp Twins. Oh my god, I remember that. But barely. Oh my god, that just unlocked so many memories. See, I remember like seeing parts of this, right? I don't think I ever watched the show in full. I don't think I ever watched a full episode. I think it would just be on randomly. So again, for that reason, I'm going to say there. I never watched it, but I do somewhat remember it. It's like it unlocked a like nostalgic memory now in the back of my mind. The Garfield Show. Okay, this was pretty good. I'm going to put this in good. I remember spending a lot of time watching this. Looking back now though, I can't remember any like distinct episode. I definitely remember watching it and I definitely did enjoy it. There was some animated movie as well that was like based on this show. Looking back now, I definitely don't really like the animation. But as a child, I definitely did enjoy this. Courage the Cowardly Dog, never watched it. Genuinely never watched an episode. I would see like ads for it of like new series and stuff like this. Did not fuck with the animation at all. Did not enjoy it. Didn't think it was entertaining. Didn't want to watch it. Similar to Cow and Chicken, I did not mess with that animation style at all and just didn't want to watch it. I saw parts of it. Wasn't for me. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That series was bad. It's just one of those successful movies that they tried to turn into a series and it just didn't work. Like, in my opinion, it was a waste of time. Didn't enjoy it. At the time, I didn't really have an opinion on it because I was a child. Looking back now, it was a cash grab. Absolute cash grab. Ed, and Eddie. Okay. Here's the thing with Ed, and Eddie. I never liked the animation style. Like, never. It was so off-putting. So for me, I'm putting it in bad. Now, some people might like it. Some people might disagree entirely with my opinion. I just didn't enjoy it. That's just me. The How to Train Your Dragon series as well. I didn't really watch it all that much. I kind of feel like, again, it was another type of cash grab. But it made more sense for that to be adapted into a series than Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. For me anyways, it just kind of made more sense. So, I'm just going to say it's mediocre. It's definitely not in bad. Oh, Dexter's Laboratory. I remember seeing so much about this and remember it being really popular, but I never watched it. Again, very clear memories of seeing it, but I never watched the full episode. I'm gonna be deadly honest. Don't know any references from it. There's been people throughout the course of my life making references of it. Never watched it. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Another show I just didn't really fuck with all that much. Like, there's parts of it that I remember, and I remember not fucking with Billy's animation. I didn't really like Billy as a character. The design for Grim, is it Grim? Is the guy, the skeleton guy? I know he's a Grim Reaper, but is he actually named Grim? I'm gonna put it in the top of D tier for now, and then maybe reorder it in a bit because I don't really remember watching it all that much. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Oh my god. Don't remember a single thing from this show, but I remember watching it. And oh my god. Again, another just nostalgia overload from that show. Jesus Christ. I can't remember how much I watched. I don't think I watched the whole part. It was similar to Codename Kids Next Door. So I think for that reason I'm going to have to put it C. But wow, yeah, I definitely remember watching that show. Johnny Bravo. Okay. Again, never watched. I knew who Johnny Bravo was. I just never watched it. Is this bad? This is probably bad that I haven't watched this many shows. Some of them are skippable, I can't lie. Like Cow and Chicken for me. What even is that? But Johnny Bravo though, I never watched. Johnny Test, however, goated. Absolutely goated. But is it S tier? Okay, I'm gonna put it A, and like the very top of A, because it's like borderline S tier. Is it as good as Adventure Time? No. Is it as good as Gumball? No. Is it as good as Ben 10? No. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to put it at A. I think. Do I leave? Oh my god. No, it has to stay in A because it's not as good as Adventure Time or Gumball. Regular show, top. Again, it's undisputed. Those four are the Mount Everest of Cartoon Network. Regular show was so funny. It was so funny. Oh my god. I just loved how so random it was. It was more random than Gumball and Adventure Time. I feel like Adventure Time, Gumball, and Regular Show are like the three that everyone like agreed with. Like, yeah, they're the three best. Ben 10 for me, it has to be top tier. So you know what? I'll do that because those three are in a category by itself. For me, Ben 10 has to be top tier. So I'm doing it that way. Hero 108 is something that, again, I watched a lot. And I know for a fact I watched a lot, but I can't really remember all that much. However, it is more memorable than the likes of Chowder, Codename Kids Next Door. So I'm going to put it in good. It's definitely in good because I remember more of it. And I remember the characters. I remember more of the storyline. So yeah, definitely in good. Unikitty. Again, another cash grab. I'm going to say it's bad because I remember watching some of it and just not really enjoy it. I thought I just... bit weird. Totally Spies, I remember weirdly vividly. I don't know why. And I don't know how. But I did watch it. Do you know, it wasn't even bad. I'll put it in mediocre. I feel like it is more of a girl's show. Let's be real. Teen Titans Go. Okay. Looking back now, Teen Titans Go is so annoying. It's so annoying. I don't know how I didn't like come across the other Teen Titans because I thought that Teen Titans Go was like the main thing, that was the original thing. And then when I found out of Teen Titans' existence, I was like, okay, this looks so much better than Teen Titans Go ever was. But I never watched the original. But Teen Titans Go, at the time it was good, and I did watch a hell of a lot of it. But looking back now, it was so annoying, it was so jarring to watch. I think it still has to go in good though. It's at the bottom of good. But yeah, I just think some of the characters are not... I think, like, watching back some of the clips now of the original Teen Titans show, the downgrade to some of the characters are so dramatic and it's so drastic. To the point where fans of the original show, I don't know how or if they even enjoyed this show. Speaking of the same thing though, I have to put this in never watch. I wish I watched it. Looking back now, oh my god, it looks so good. And I would have enjoyed it so much because it's similar animation style to Ben 10, and I feel like it would have been such a good watch when I was younger. Powerpuff Girls, I never really watched. Put it mediocre. Because, I don't know, I feel like for the most part it is memorable, and I think it's more memorable than some of the other stuff that I've watched, but I don't know, it's just not really as good as some of the other ones I've watched. Robot Boy, oh my god, again, has to be, for me, A tier, because it's not as good as some of the others, but I watched so much of this. It was so good. I loved watching the show. And for me, it's like genuinely one of the like pillars of my childhood. It was so funny. It was so good. Similar to Ninjago. Ninjago has to be A tier. I didn't watch some of the later series. I think the last one I watched was the Air Jitsu. The one where Lloyd gets possessed by a ghost. No. Was that the one where Cole turns into a ghost? Because that one I remember. And then I think there was one in particular after the time one where they're going back in time to save Nia by getting married by a ghost or something like that. I can't really remember. Either way, Ninjago for me was one of the best shows out there. So, has to be an A tier. Crypto the Super Dog. I'm going to put that in C for now. Because I did remember watching it a lot when I was younger, but like it can't compare to anyone above that. Like, it was really good at the time, and it was definitely enjoyable, but again, you can't compare it to other stuff. Star Wars The Clone Wars, right. This is like possibly one of the most mainstream ones because it is now canonical in like all the mainstream Star Wars stuff. So that definitely bumps it up. But I actually didn't really watch a whole pile of it. I definitely remember watching some episodes, but not that much. So I'll say it's C because again, I didn't watch enough of it to know how good it really was. A lot of people watched it. I know that for a certainty. Uncle Grandpa, I'll put it in good. This was the definition of a fever dream because you didn't know what was going to happen in any episode. I think for the most part it was good though. It was pretty funny. It was pretty enjoyable. Yeah, I'll leave it in good. I will leave it in good, yeah. We Bare Bears. This was pretty good. This is top 2 or top 3. It's definitely not S tier. It's either A or B. I'm gonna put it. Oh, do I put it A? I feel like no. I'll put it B. Because it's not as good as Johnny Test. For me, it's not as good as Robot Boy or Ninjago. Robot Boy for me is nostalgia. We Bare Bears though, it's pretty funny, and the actual characters were really good. Some of the episodes were really memorable. Yeah, I think it's. Do you know what? It's top of B. I think Steven Universe. Okay, Steven Universe was pretty good. Steven Universe was pretty good. Do I put this again? It's the same thing. It's either A or B. Like, there's a whole other show, apparently. Or is it a different series where they're all or Steven Universe is all grown up? I definitely did not watch that. I'll put it A tier. I think I'll put it A tier because it's very memorable. I think it's very good. It's at the bottom of A tier. It had really good action scenes, actually. It was actually very entertaining. But it can't go low. It's not on the same level as fucking Clarence. It's much better than Clarence. Okay, KO. Okay, this is another one I remember. I'm going to put it C. I really, really, really like the animation style of this stuff. It's one of those shows that, as I was growing up, it then released. So, don't really remember a whole pile of it. I remember watching it for sure. But it's not as good as the ones above it. Like, it's not. Sonic Boom. Okay, this one I'm going to put as good because it was so random. And I didn't really watch a whole pile growing up, but I definitely have seen a lot of it, and I've seen a lot because of TikTok as well. Because the out of context clips from that show are unbelievable. They're so funny. And growing up, I adored Sonic, so I had to give it some bit of credit. I think for the most part, this is like what I can remember. This is the main part of Cartoon Network that I remember. So I think I'm gonna leave it there. I definitely need to reorder some of it. Ninjago is better than Robot Boy, and so is Steven. Oh, was Steven Universe better? I'm gonna leave A tier like this. I think you can genuinely put these in any order. Let's see, B tier, I think We Bare Bears is top of that. Garfield Show, I didn't really fuck with the animation. No, I enjoyed Teen Titans Go more so than the Garfield Show, let's be honest. I'm happy enough with this list, I think. I think the further down I go, first off, the less I care about these shows. But yeah, okay. That's my list. Definitive. It's 100% accurate. Cartoon Network's tier list.